Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and it's fucking cold out here, so I'll try to make this fast. Sorry I haven't been posting lately. I've actually been really busy at work, and not like the usual lame excuse, I've been busy at work, but like, like doing actual grown up shit at my job. Uh, so basically, I took like one course in college, like for programming, and I fucking hated it, and I was bad at it. But at my job, I learned how to program, and I completed an entire project like in just a few months. Like taught myself how to like learn how to script, finish the project in just a few months. So I know how to program now. Anyway, that's just what I've been doing. But let's talk about why we're out here. So I finished another project recently, and this is a pair of swords I've made for my friend. And it's actually the first Daisho I've made. The swords are a bit of they have really unusual dimensions to them, so let's go ahead and just discuss that. So the longer sword is 3 feet long in total. The blade is 25 inches. The handle is 11 inches. It's got enough room to like use two hands. You can hold it with one hand pretty comfortably. And as you've noticed, these are very strange because of how broad they are, and they're actually they have a lot of girth to them as well. So they're actually extremely massive, massive swords. I would say this one, even though its dimensions are much thinner than a baseball bat, because of how dense it is and because of its dimensions, it would probably do much, much more damage to a person than a baseball bat. Um, the thing about these swords is that they are not made for sparring, so they don't have like the very rounded edges I normally put on the front of my Bokken, for crushing when you make contact with another Bokken. They're actually made for like I gave them much more narrow edges because since these swords are for home defense instead, you want a narrow edge to basically focus the force onto a small area so that you do more damage. So you know how pressure is like force divided by area. If you decrease the area, keep the same force, and that causes pressure up. So and also it's a smaller area that's absorbing that energy. So you focus all that energy into somebody's femur. you know it's likely going to fracture that bone. Okay, so this sword, it ended up even though it's shorter than a regular katana, I'd say it's actually like it's got so much girth to it that it's actually pretty hard to control with one hand. Like I came pretty close to spraining my wrist just swinging this thing around. So I don't really recommend using it one-handed. Definitely a two-handed sword, just because of its mass. And also, like even though it's for home defense, it's actually a little too long. Even though it's only 3 feet long in total, like when you have a home defense weapon, you kind of want it short enough to use so you can manipulate it inside of a hallway. So the long one, a little too long for doing that. Now, if you really want to fight in a hallway, you use this one. So the shorter sword it's like 2 feet 3 inches total. Like the blade is I forget how long it is. It's like 18, 19 inches maybe, and the handle's 8 inches. So it's balanced, so you could use it easily in one hand, but you can't fit two hands on this handle if you need to for whatever reason. And it's actually cut to be thinner than the longer blade, but most importantly, the edge on it is even more narrow. The edge on it is basically like 1/8 of an inch. It's basically like a corner that's mildly rounded. So this thing will most definitely fracture a bone if you hit somebody with it. Yeah, it's basically gonna be like a wedge, like a massive wedge that's like hitting somebody. Yeah, so the wood I used, it's pecan like usual. It had a really pretty grain to it. You see how it's two toned on one side. The longer sword has this really neat like eye right here. Normally you want to avoid like eyes in your wood, but this one it's pretty small, like pretty much the same material. And it looks cool. Um, yeah, this side of this short sword is also two toned, but I really like the grain on this side. I totally didn't expect it to come out like that, but just look at that grain. It's just really pretty. And I just really adore the curve on the long sword. It's just really nice. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss these swords when I give them away. But yeah, these are the home defense swords I made for my friend. And yeah, yeah, so you guys got a good explanation of how I made the dimensions so that these swords are suited for that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, just let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks.